Hello readers, and welcome once again to ASJ Publishing's Book Chat. I'm Jett Tattersall, and today I'm talking to you from my corridor as my balcony's got a load of work going on it, so apologies for the makeshift studio here. I'm dead excited because I get to talk today about pirates. Not just any pirate, but really kick-ass girl pirates and really amazing giant pirates and creepy little skinny vertically challenged pirates, and it's all thanks to Max Davine, who, as some of you probably know, is a well-published author with ASJ. He has a few books with us, and I spoke to him actually on our radio show a couple of months back about this very book now, which I'm peeling off the floor. Off the Map. I don't know why my hand's stuck in there. Off the Map by Max Davine. And look, pirate ship and awesome girl. It's 1873. We're in France, and a young, newly orphaned Chanel, the pretty girl from the front cover, she was orphaned because her dad died at sea a very long time ago, and her mother was just recently brutally murdered. We're not sure who by, or she doesn't know who by yet. Now, she wanders into a bar because she's hungry and thirsty and probably needs a glass of wine, and I assume that 7-year-olds in France in 1873 probably could get wine because the liquor licensing laws weren't so strict as they are today, and it was in France, let's face it. So she wanders in there and ends up in a bit of a kerfuffle and grabs a sword from somewhere and ends up like laying into this guy and being amazing at it, and she's 7, and you know, usually this would get a slap in the face and kicked out of the pub. However, this day there just so happened to be the manager of a very successful circus sitting at the end of the bar, sipping a pint and probably eating a sandwich. And he saw her and he thought, oh my God, you'd be excellent. Join my circus. Put on a pair of trousers and you will eat and entertain and you can fight the people that come in and it will be wonderful and we'll tour the world. And to a 7-year-old orphan, anything's good. So she's like, yeah, sandwiches, sword, brilliant. And she does this, and she grows up to be just as beautiful as her mother, but alive. And she's all like dark skin and big curly hair and turquoise eyes, the colour of the sea. And she's constantly at sea, like touring from country to country and meeting lots of men whom she has many a delicious romantic one-night stand with. Because Chanel is, I like to think she's a girl of our times, and she likes to sample before she buys, and good on her. One of which is a very handsome, very foppish, very British guy named Oliver Aubrey. So Oliver falls in love with Chanel, and Chanel falls in love with Oliver, and he, just being a very proper British gent, he decides to marry her straight away. And he does so, much to his very old, pompous, very unemotional, rich parents' disgust. And he moves it into the big manor house in Cornwall, where she continues to be very much herself and wanders around naked, sipping brandy, smoking cigars, and generally entertaining the servants. Now, due to Oliver's terrible parenting, I assume, growing up, he finds another father figure who happens to be his boss, who's this portly, big-time, well, you don't know initially, but he's a huge arse named Lord Beaumont. Now, Lord Beaumont considers himself an explorer, but basically he just throws money at other people to do all the exploring for him while he sits down and reaps all the benefits. Now, he he confides in Oliver and says that he has found, well, his men have found, the lost city of Atlantis. Dramatic pause. Oliver, obviously, rapt by this idea, and Lord Beaumont says, now listen, Oliver, the only reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to come and do the expedition with me. Oliver's like, yes, I'll tell Chanel straight away. She'd love to get out of Cornwall. She's an explorer. Now, Lord Beaumont, much like Oliver's parents, think Chanel is just a money-grubbing, dirty French whore. And he's like, yeah, if you have to bring her, just don't tell her where we're going because I don't trust women. And Oliver, because, well, he's an idiot, agrees to Lord Beaumont's terms and says, I'll just surprise her with a honeymoon anyway. I don't think Oliver's read enough Hallmark books, or just, books in general, or spoken to women about life, because you shouldn't lie to them, especially early on in a relationship. There shouldn't be those kinds of lies. It always ends in tears, and Oliver is going to learn this very quickly. So he goes home, tells Chanel they're going on this amazing honeymoon to Mallorca and everywhere else, and she's like, great. And he said, look, we're going with Lord Beaumont. I know you don't like him, and I know he doesn't like you, but we're going on his ship and it'll all be fine. We'll be in separate quarters. And she doesn't like to complain, so she's like, fine. They get to the ship. She is terrified. She doesn't know why. I mean, who's terrified of a ship? Well, except for those who are scared of sea. Chanel, not scared of sea, terrified of this ship. She then meets the ship's captain. Oh, the ship is called the Seahawk, by the way. Oh, menacing. The Seahawk's captain is this little, slippery, serpent-like, vertically challenged, creepy, seething, yellow-teethed, fire in his eyes, cruel slip of a man named Captain Rocks. Rocks? Am I saying this right, Max? And the first thing he says to Chanel, after staring at her with open mouth for a little bit, is, "What the sea wants, the sea shall have." Oh, that's exactly what her mother said to her whenever Chanel asked about her father. This man must know her father. This man must know her mother. Sinister. So Chanel and Oliver and Beaumont and Creepy Captain and a whole boatload of miners head to the detour of the lost city of Atlantis, where, surprise, surprise, Lord Beaumont has a little bit more in store than just exploring. There happens to be this massive tower, which is a massive weapon full of cosmic or, I don't know, weird mineral that can blow things up. And it's Lord Beaumont's gotten a little bit crazy and megalomaniac. A little Stalin-esque in his twilight years, and has decided that he is going to use it with agreement with the Queen Victoria's for it as well, to rule the world. He's going to point the thing at Russia and blow it up. Bit of a big deal. Now, Oliver, already horrified by this idea, gets even more horrified by this idea when Beaumont demonstrates the power of the scary, I keep doing this, but it's a scary power tube, giant power tube, like a fluoro light, I imagine, points it at a passing ship and just blows it up, like really quickly and really powerfully, killing hundreds of people. Oliver and Chanel both scream, and Oliver is like, "Beaumont, I will have no part in this." Takes Chanel's hand and plans to make a quick exit. Beaumont, obviously, he's an arse, but he's not stupid. Figures this might happen, so he seizes Oliver and he says, "If you will not work with me by choice, you will work with me by force. And by the way, I'm killing your wife." Drama. I don't want to say this came from Oliver's original lie to Chanel, but, if my mum was here, she'd give me a knowing look. And you guys. Chanel escapes, kind of, out into the sea where Lord Rocks is waiting for her to kill her again with the Seahawk. More people blowing up, more people dying. And Chanel somehow manages to cram herself in a passing, floating chest of drawers. Very similar to the chest of drawers I think Kate Winslet survived and killed Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic. I guess that happens. Anyway, she survives and floats around in the sea, assumed dead by the evil guys and by her poor husband for a few days. And just as she's on the brink of dying, she's been plucked out of the sea by these lovely, lovely big burly men who work aboard a ship called the Silver Star, which happens to be the Seahawk's much kinder predecessor, made, designed, and now captained by the Professor John Stratford, who is lovely and warm and kind of a pirate, but not really. Obviously, Chanel, she's convinced straight away that her love is still alive, and she also must stop the world domination, which Lord Bradford is about, and manages to convince Stratford and his crew to basically go back and find them. But Stratford knows that he and his little ship are no army alone against the Atlantis power tube and creepy Beaumont and horrible Lord Rocks, who he also knows. And so he's like, we're going to need some backup. So out of this comes the adventure story of more pirates and almost like kick-ass girl pirates who live on an island full of women who kind of get on with each other and, eat coconuts and stab men and build an empire. And then there's Captain Teague, who is amazing and who is in love with Chanel's mother and names a ship after her. And he's just like this big, burly, battered chap. And he's got a good heart, even though he's mean and kind of, I imagine if you tasted him, he would taste like salt water and beef jerky. Just wonderful, wonderful adventure story with a little bit of romance thrown in, but not enough to get you off the boat. There's also an island full of cannibalistic apes, which is terrifying. It only lasts for a few pages, but nice, Max. Nice work with the cannibal apes. It was scary. I'm not going to give away the end, but all good things come to those who wait. But I'm just saying, if you like pirates and a little bit of romance and cannibalistic apes and just, it's like do you know what? A lot of pirate literature, and I know it because being a pirate fan, I've read it, can be kind of cheesy, which is fair enough because, you know, us in the modern world don't really, I guess we've got a really weird nostalgic view of the past. But this one's cool. This one's really cool. And so, look, if you like pirates and cannibalistic, not that you like cannibalistic apes, but, you know, pirates and a bit of romance and some couple of pages of horror and just really, really beautifully written characters and adventure stories, then please go online or go to Max's house or go to the book fair and pick up a copy of Off the Map, because I read it in a couple of days. It's just, I don't know, it's just a really good adventure book, and I think it would definitely appeal. I personally read it between a really creepy sci-fi series and then I read this, and it just freshened the palette, and now I'm ready to move on to something else. It's a really good present book. It's a good adventure book. It's a good taste of what Max Davine has to offer, and yeah, get involved. I'm Jett Tattersall. Thank you for watching my ramblings, and I'll see you again on Book Chat.